Hello everyone and welcome to another Decks of the Weekend where I show the decks that did well this weekend and that caught my attention the most among the Magic Online formats that I'm following, which are Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Pauper, and sometimes I can show some other things, but this week is going to be a classic. We're going to start with Modern. Red Green Titan Shift won the LMS Copenhagen. That was the quote-unquote GP that is going on in Europe, and 450 people were there, and Red Green Titan Shift won the event and got the invite among many other invites to the Europeans that'll happen in Sofia at the end of November, or I guess in the middle of November actually. But anyway, this deck is a pretty old Modern deck, one of the decks that have been around ever since Scapeshift and Valakut were put together. I guess ever since they unbanned Valakut in 2012 and Titan Shift, just came back in Modern. So what happened with this deck is that your plan is very simple. You just have to ramp up lands with Search for Tomorrow, Sakura Traveler, Explore, or Dryad, and then you have to kill your opponent with either Wish for Scapeshift, or just Scapeshift, or even Primeval Titan getting your Valakut. Every extra land is 3 damage. If you have Dryad in play, you can already start combat off on 6 lands, otherwise you need at least 7 to deal 18 damage. I made a couple of videos with this deck. It's been a while back since Will Kruger won the Mox with this deck. Very good matchup against 4-color. Just solid deck overall. I really think it's a good deck and very underrated. In fact, I put it in the top 10 of my Modern decks that goes on Channel Fireball every month. And, most people just assumed it was like kind of a joke or, it was wrong. But I do think it's a very strong deck and just not very much played because, well, honestly, just because not that many new cards here. Sure, we got Wish, but the rest of the deck is a pretty old archetype of Magic players is allowed to play the new hot stuff. But I do believe it's a strong deck, especially since if you don't have access to that many new cards, I guess Random 6 is definitely an expensive new card that might be hard to get. But yeah, Wish, definitely a new good addition, both because it makes your cards not redundant and because it gives you access to a lot of powerful cyber card to have, like Nitrous Clam against Blood Moon, Flame Slash against Magus of the Moon. You can get access to an Engineered Explosives. I don't know if you saw one of my videos. I think it was Blue White Days Undoing, where my Titan Shift opponent went turn 3 Wish for Explosives to blow up my Chalice on 1 and then Lightning Bolt my... I was playing Goblins. Yeah, I was playing Goblins. But yeah, so Red Green Titan Shift, an excellent deck, won a 15-round event together with a very diverse top 8, really. It's just, you have Gleams, you have the, just every archetype. I'm going to link it in the deck list. I'm going to link it in the description, the whole top 8, and the first place is this, but really just a very diverse top 8, just a classic paper event. The metagame of Modern is super diverse, so every top 8 will almost always be 8 different decks. Let's now go over to Pioneer, where the Saturday Challenge was won by a deck of my heart, I want to say. Bad Spirits is a deck that I really like in Pioneer right now. Very good matchup against Mono Green, which is a great place to be, since I believe Mono Green to be, like if the metagame is only tier 1s, which are, Blue-White Control, Rakdos Midrange, Mono Green, and Izzet decks, I think Mono Green is the best of the bunch. But Mono Green loses to the decks that aren't quite tier 1, but definitely capable of beating Mono Green and have a fine game against the rest. And one of them is Bad Spirits, a deck that I've done well with a couple of times on my videos. I think I won 5 times, 5-0, and you can find it on the channel, of course. This list is playing 4 Shacklegeist. I was playing 3. It's playing 7 1-drop. I think I was playing only 6. But overall, the core of the deck is just you're trying to go over the top of your opponent in the air. So you're racing ground creatures. Shacklegeist helps you a lot in racing ground creatures, as well as tapping a Llanowar Elf on turn 2 with 1-drop Spirit, turn 2 Shacklegeist, and you tap Llanowar Elf. It's a play I've done very often. 23 lands, I believe I was playing 24. You got Collected Company, which is your only splash. I guess that's not true here, because the winner of the challenge also splashes for Toski. Indestructible, so it doesn't die to Supreme Verdict. and means that every time a creature of yours deal damage, you draw a card. So definitely a tool against blue-white control. A deck that's probably fine in that matchup, though. You have Selfless Spirit to prevent against Supreme Verdict, but yeah, just flesh threats with Rattle Chain and Spectral Sailor, and so on and so forth. Muslim Wanderer also excellent in that matchup, of course. I was not playing Extraction Specialist. What's the difference? There's Cathilda. This is a legendary thing that has lifelink, which is a big deal in many matchups, and it gets pretty large equal to the number of spirits. So this card can really be a big deal against the many decks, many just race decks where you actually need a lifelink flyer. Lofty Denial, actually. This is a card I didn't expect to see. I was playing, I believe, either Disdainful Stroke, Ether Gust, or Negate, but Lofty Denial is a way to just, counter unless they pay for it. This is basically a mana leak in this deck, since all your spirits are flying, only Stack Evaporation, which I'm assuming you take out against the control decks or the combo decks. For example, the Lotus Field is Lotus Field, I believe it came top 4, so definitely a deck that's still out there. 3 Earths, I was only playing 2. But yeah, the deck is good. It's definitely a great choice in Pioneer these days. And now let's go over to Legacy. So this weekend I held a Legacy tournament in my town. It was great because I enjoy playing Legacy. Very often, as a Legacy player, very often you just have to wait for the very few events that are on in order to play, because, well, people don't really move outside of the big events in Legacy. But I was able to gather 25 people, which is pretty cool. We were playing full proxy, and the deck that won the event was Claudio Bonanni with 4-color control, featuring 3 copies of Misk and Boo Timeless Heroes. This card isn't currently on Magic Online, so kind of a big deal, honestly. It's been months that Commander Legends 2 came out, but somehow Magic Online just refuses to put just Misk and Boo in Magic Online. So it's even coded, like you see it here in the program, but it's actually, you can't play it in the games. Pretty unreal. But yeah, so what this card does, if you have never read it, it's a 4-mana Planeswalker that comes to play with a 1/1 legendary token. And then every upkeep, you make a 1/1 legendary token. So if the opponent kills it or you sacrifice it, you're going to get one to the next upkeep. +1, you put 3 counters on a creature with Trample and Haste, or Haste. And the Minsk token happens to have Trample and Haste. So you're going to just attack for 4 immediately. And then the turn after, you can -2, sacrifice a creature, for example, the Hamster token, so 4. And then you're going to deal X damage, where X is the power, and you draw X cards. So what you do is you -2, you kill your hamster, you deal 4 to anywhere, and draw 4 cards, which in Legacy are just game over, you win the game. Or you can even play this -2 immediately, sacrifice an Icefell or an Endurance, kill a thing, draw 3 cards, and that's a big deal. So that's the deck that Claudio played, Uropile, you could say, 4-color with Splashing White for Plow, Ending, and Terminus, as well as 2 Light from the Loam with Wasteland and Basaggio, as well as fetches, of course, a couple of Endurance, couple of Narcissist, and then the classic cantrip. Power Blast these days is very strong because, well, I mean, Legacy always, blue decks are always good, although I think the best card is in the sideboard against the blue decks, and that's Carpet of Flower. One of the reasons why I was going to play Izzet in this event, either Delver or Delverless, but I decided that just the green pile beat you too bad. You just can't beat a Carpet of Flower, and I was kind of off these blue decks, which I understand they win online, but I don't really see how they can beat a deck like this, for example, with, Plows, Ending, Carpets, Uro, Endurance. Just a nightmare in my opinion, and as I ended up playing 8 cast Mono Blue Artifact, I went undefeated in the Swiss, but then I lost to Claudio in the top 8. Some big regrets in that game. You can find my decklist, my videos on YouTube. Just write Kappa Cannoneer Legacy. I got a video with that deck here. Can't play this deck though because the lack of Misk and Boo on Magic Online, but you can certainly play it in paper. The superior way to play Magic. Paper Magic, of course. And but yeah, overall, I am here every day, trying to give you content about Legacy. I have to play Magic Online because that's all I got. But thank you for watching. I wish you a great week, and see you every day on the channel. Bye.